Hey, what's good, Soul fam? Welcome to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, your weekly deep dive into the heart of soul music, the past, the present, and the future. I'm Max Soul.
And I'm Mello Soul, and we're genuinely hyped to have you join us on this journey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're not just playing music. We're exploring the rich tapestry of this incredible genre, how it shapes us as artists, and how we're working to push it forward with our own sound.
Oh, that is so right, Mello. Every week, we'll be breaking down the architects of soul, the legends, the visionaries, those who built the foundations that we stand on today. We'll explore how their genius continues to inspire our own creative process and the path we're forging.
And our peers, too, Max.
That's true.
Yeah, because Max and Mello's Architects of Soul isn't just about what Max and I are doing.
No.
It's about the collective energy of a new generation of soul artists paying homage.
That's homage.
Homage, or paying homage, while carving out our own unique space, our sonic space, in this ever-evolving landscape.
And exactly, that's correct. And today we're kicking things off with a true titan, a trailblazer whose voice could tear down the walls and build cathedrals of emotion. And truthfully, she could. Someone whose impact, while sometimes very subtle, laid critical groundwork for everything that came after her. Everything. We are talking about the one and the only Dinah Washington.
So get ready to feel it, because her story is deep. I mean, it's really deep, y'all.
Yeah.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hey, welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We're diving deep into the profound impact of Dinah Washington. You know, it's funny, Mello, when you first think of soul, her name may not be the absolute first to pop up for everyone. But for us, learning about her just solidified how truly foundational she really was.
Absolutely, Max. She wasn't labeled soul in her time. They didn't really use the word like that at that time. But her DNA is all over it. I mean, she's often called the queen of the blues and the queen of the jukeboxes. Dinah was a master of blending genres. Just think about it. She moved effortlessly between jazz's sophisticated harmonies and blues's raw emotion and the emerging R&B rhythms of the time.
Formerly called race records.
Yeah, exactly. Even pop sensibilities. And that fluidity, that willingness to pull from all these wells.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. It really does. That's a direct ancestor to the genre bending we hear in soul music today.
Goddamn right.
And we do that all the time in our tracks.
Yes, we do.
You can't really nail down to one specific genre.
No, it's a conversation between yesterday and today.
Yeah.
That's the key. And certainly, it's that fearless approach to the genre, that courage to not be confined. So her hit, What a Difference the Day Makes, which truly won a Grammy for Best Rhythm and Blues Performance. And that wasn't just a hit. It really was a powerful statement, right, Mello? Mm-hmm. It proved that these sounds, deeply rooted in black culture, in jazz and blues, could actually achieve massive mainstream success. Not just mainstream success, massive mainstream success without being watered down. That's pretty cool. It absolutely paved the way for so many black artists, and particularly the black women that followed.
Oh, yeah, and Dinah's vocal delivery, though, when you hear, that's where you really hear the soul.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because Dinah started in the church choir. That's a familiar.
That seems to be a string,
exactly.
doesn't it?
And you can hear that profound gospel influence in every single note. That rich, expressive, often improvisational style full of gospel power and raw emotion.
Yeah.
Because she could belt it out.
Oh, she sure could.
That became a defining characteristic of nearly every great soul vocalist. When you hear that deep cry or that joyful shout in a soul song, you're hearing Dinah's lineage.
And the truth is that her lineage was so strong that when Aretha first came out, her first record, they asked her to sound just like Dinah Washington. Mm-hmm. Mind you, she sounded just like Dinah Washington.
She could do that, but then she had her own thing. And she
yeah,
eventually did a Dinah tribute album, too.
But the truth is that she was affected by the same thing. Mm-hmm. She heard the same thing she was looking for, mm-hmm. right? I mean, I remember listening to some of her live recordings, and sometimes it's like she's preaching. She commands the stage. Quincy Jones, who arranged for her, famously said, she had a voice that was like the pipes of life. Every single melody she sang, she made hers. When she put her soulful trademark on a song, well, she owned it. And it was never the same, right? Mello, that level of vocal artistry, that ability to imbue every lyric with deep emotion and make a song uniquely her own, wow. That's exactly what we strive for in our music. Word for word, note for note. It's just not about hitting the notes. As important as that is, and it is important,
it is.
It's about inhabiting the story.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about technical precision. It was about the feeling, the narrative, and the story she told with her voice. You felt every single word she sang, whether it was about heartbreak or triumph.
True.
And that's the magic. That's the notion of transcendence that she brought to the blues. And moving beyond just suffering, but to something more empowering. That's a cornerstone of what soul music eventually became, and is about finding power in vulnerability.
Without a doubt, vulnerability is power. But she really shaped a new kind of female blues jazz persona. And she wasn't just a singer, she was an independent spirit, a real force. And we'll be back to discuss more soul giants and their profound influence on our sound and on your ears after this quick break.
We'll go away.
Back.
Welcome back, everyone, to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We just touched on Dinah Washington, a true matriarch whose spirit lives on. But the lineage of soul is incredibly rich with architects whose blueprints continue to guide us even today.
Truly.
So let's delve into some of the legends who followed and built on that foundation.
That's actually a really good idea. Let's talk about that. When you think of the sheer vocal power and emotional depth that defines soul, well, it's impossible not to bring up Aretha, like we just talked about on the last segment. So the Queen of Soul herself, as we mentioned, was deeply inspired by Dinah. But Aretha took that gospel-infused delivery to another level, turning every song into a transformative, almost spiritual experience. And we often think how she would rework a song, making it undeniably hers. That ability to reinterpret and own a track, that's pure genius.
Absolutely, Max. And then there's Sam Cooke.
Another.
Yeah, his crossover from gospel into secular music was revolutionary, not just for his voice, but for the bravery it took. You know, that was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, sure, at the time. And then you have to look at the time frame between each of these artists, even though the string that is the same. You know, the artists like Dinah and Sam Cooke, they were ahead of the pack.
And he brought that spiritual fervor, that undeniable sense of hope and conviction directly into popular music. His smooth yet incredibly powerful vocals and his songwriting, especially with anthems like A Change Is Gonna Come.
Which is a tremendous piece of music
now,
done by everybody.
Yeah. And that showed the world how soul could be both profoundly moving and commercially successful.
Unquestionably.
And let's not forget his business acumen. Owning his masters was a visionary move that every artist needs to study.
Hey, there's that string again.
Exactly. And there's a lesson that we are definitely trying to learn from.
Oh, so true, Mello. So true. And talk about performance and innovation. James Brown, the godfather of soul, didn't just sing. Man, he commanded every fiber of his being, every moment on stage. But his absolute focus on rhythm, that insistence on the one, which we'll get to in so many other episodes that we're talking about this laid the groundwork for funk, for disco, and even hip-hop. In his live performances, James was legendary, setting an impossibly high standard for a dynamic stage presence that still resonates today. Dare I say Prince after that, so that people know that James spread that love, right? And when we plan our live show, I know we always talk about this, like what we ask ourselves. It's not that we ask ourselves, oh, what would Max do, right? What would Aretha do? What would whoever do? We try to think about what kind of energy is brought to the engagement. Like, what is this song saying that we want to say that's similar and get that same emotion back? Because that's what this is all about, emotion.
And then you have Marvin Gaye, who evolved from a smooth Motown crooner to a profound social commentator. Albums like What's Going On weren't just hit records. They were artistic manifestos that broke significant barriers, proving that soul music could tackle complex social issues with grace, beauty, and incredible power.
And do not forget the fight that it took for him to get the release of that.
That fight for creative control to put his uncompromised vision out into the world, despite label pressure from Motown, of all places, is a story every artist needs to hear and learn from. It's about artistic integrity.
Oh, without a doubt. And Stevie Wonder, well,
That's my boy.
What could you say about Stevie, man? We all love Stevie, right? A true musical genius. Although Eddie used to say, you want to impress me? Here, drive. so I is another guy who was blessed to get to work with more than once in my career. And, well, he was essentially, you go back to his classic period. He was a one-man band. He synthesized genres and used new technologies like synths and crafted incredibly intricate, innovative, and socially conscious albums. And he was really deep into how it works, how the synths work, and being right up on it. His clav playing, his piano playing, his synth playing. He did all the parts. He was a 100% badass, right? And when you think about it, he shaped the sound of soul for decades to come.
Well, proving that embracing new tech doesn't diminish soul; it can elevate it. But we also can't forget Otis Redding.
No, sitting on the dock of the bay, there is some Otis song, or the King of Soul.
The King of Soul, that's right. Whose raw, passionate, and vulnerable vocal delivery could break your heart and lift your spirits all in one song. Yeah. That's a classic, and it showed a different, more of an introspective, even melancholic side of soul, proving its incredible emotional versatility.
There we go. There's versatile, vulnerable, all those V's.
And he taught us that vulnerability is strength.
Yes, these artists, they weren't just singers. They all were innovators, storytellers, cultural catalysts, and often, turns out, very, very savvy business minds, which is very cool because it teaches us that we have to be smart about what we do, especially in today's environment. And we'll be back to discuss how these profound lessons specifically shape the new vibe, our sound, our approach, and after the break.
Stick around.
Thanks for tuning into Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you. Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. So, Mello, we spend time celebrating the titans of soul. Now, let's connect those dots, right? How do Dinah Washington, Aretha, Sam Cooke, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and Otis Redding directly influence our approach to creating soul music today? How? How do their lessons manifest in what we and our peers, as Max and Mello and as whoever they are, what are they doing right now to make this happen?
Well, I think it's everything, Max. From Dinah's genre blending, we've learned that soul isn't confined to just a rigid box.
Well, that's like not news to anybody.
Right. And we constantly ask ourselves, how can we take this core soul feeling and infuse it with elements that feel fresh and relevant?
Truly.
And that's why you'll hear us incorporate hip-hop drum programming and R&B vocal runs and even subtle electronic synth texture into our sound. It's about taking the essence of soul and that raw emotion and storytelling and expressing it through a truly contemporary lens.
That's true. That's true. And it's exactly right. And from Aretha and Sam Cooke, well, we internalize that gospel-driven authenticity. We want our vocals to be more than just pretty melodies. We really want them to carry weight, to evoke a profound feeling, not empty lyrics. We're writing lyrics, we're not just rhyming words. We really are trying to craft narratives that resonate on a deeper level, inspired by Sam Cooke's incredible ability to turn personal narratives, sometimes even painful ones, think about a change is going to come, into universal anthems of hope. Every vocal take we do, we're asking, So now, is this authentic to us? Is this authentic to the music that we're doing? Do you feel this, right? Is it resonating?
Because if you feel it, then the audience should feel it.
I
too,
agree.
you know?
I agree. If you're not going to enjoy what you do, nobody else is going to enjoy it.
Yeah. And like James Brown's rhythmic intensity is a constant presence in our production room.
Help me.
We're absolutely obsessed with the grooves that hit hard and make you move, that make you nod your head instantly. We've spent hours dissecting his breakdowns and understanding how he built tension and release.
Not overdoing anything, but taking all these things that we learn and making it palatable for exactly what we're doing, but using the lesson.
Yeah, and we've definitely studied his stage presence and understanding that the live experience is just as crucial as the recording.
In some places, more crucial.
Exactly. It's about connecting with the audience on a visceral, energetic level, creating that communal, almost spiritual experience.
Sure. Marvin Gaye, his courage with what's going on has shown us the profound power of using our platform for more than just love songs. Not that there's anything wrong with love songs.
Exactly. Love a good love song.
Exactly. While we absolutely embrace love and relationships in our music, and we really do, right? Because that is a core part of the soul experience. It really is. We're also not afraid to touch on societal issues, to make our music reflect the complex world we live in, just as he did. His fight for artistic integrity truly resonates when we're making decisions about direction or messages. We are trying to convey, what is right in our hearts to the people that are listening to us.
And, of course, you can't forget about Stevie Wonder.
Whoa, no, who could?
Stevie Wonder, his mastery of instrumentation and his willingness to embrace new technology, that's a huge lesson for the new vibe.
Yeah.
Because we're constantly exploring new sounds, experimenting with synthesizers and unique vocal effects and unconventional production techniques. He showed us that innovation doesn't mean abandoning your roots; it means expanding them. Because remember his early synth stuff, he was really ahead of the curve.
Oh, without a doubt, he was completely ahead of the curve.
We believe that spirit of soul can thrive in any sonic environment as long as the heart is there.
Yeah, no. When he was writing music, they'd built this giant synth so he could do everything, and it took like 4 people to play it.
Exactly.
And you hear the parts, and that's on Fulfilling This Is First Finale. You can hear that on 3 or 4 of the records in that time, Talking Book. And it's just, nobody was doing that. No. And when he came to the Apollo, he spent a week. He had another keyboard player in the back underneath playing exactly the same synclave that he was playing, that played exactly like him. And he also had a little microphone in Stevie's ear so he could tell Stevie what was going on in the audience. That meant very funny. But Stevie was on it. And that synclavier was incredible in the way it sounded and the fullness of the patches. And that just stands to the guy that Stevie Wonder was as a creator. I mean, it truly.
And of course, don't forget about Otis.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't forget about Otis. His unflinching and raw vulnerability. Wow. You know, we aim for that honesty in our storytelling and vocal delivery. Not that we want to talk about ourselves about this, but we just want you to know that all the things that we listen to and all the things that you listen to help make you a better musician, make you a better listener, make you a better carer. And these things are so important. And with Otis, it's making the listener truly feel about what we're saying, whether it's joy, pain, or longing. Right? We want to let the pure emotion shine through. We've often tried to channel that raw, live in the moment feeling he brought us to his recordings. It doesn't always work, but sometimes we come across parts in our songs that tell us, yeah, man, Otis said I like this part.
These aren't just historical figures to us. They're our professors, our mentors, our guides, our griots.
Our griots, yeah. I'm so for it.
Yeah,
so
we're
for
actively,
that.
yeah, exactly. We're actively taking their lessons and their pioneering spirit and channeling it directly into the soul music that we're creating now and ensuring their legacy lives and breathes in every note.
Right. Having a conversation between yesterday and today.
Exactly.
That's the key. That's the big part. Take what you learn, move with it, and make it something for you, right?
Yeah.
All right, so stay tuned because we're going to wrap things up with some final thoughts on the path forward for soul music and hopefully for all of us creating. So stick around.
Welcome back for our final segment of Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. It's been an incredible journey through the roots of soul today and how these roots nourish the present.
Without a doubt. And truly, before we go any further, I just want to talk about, for a second, about the segregated America of the 40s and the 50s, right? And how Dinah Washington broke down significant barriers for women and black artists. She became a dominant force in popular music. I mean, her success demonstrated the commercial viability of black female artists and created way more opportunities for those that followed. These are the people that we talk about now, the first generation of soul singers.
Yeah, in essence, while Dinah Washington was primarily known as a jazz and blues singer, her vocal style, genre-bending approach, pioneering success laid much of the emotional, technical, and commercial groundwork that soul music,
it flourished.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was like Dinah Washington and Gloria Lynn and Dakota State and those Nancy Wilson. That was that.
Don't forget
period
Etta. There's so many.
Etta James, just before soul, just before Aretha really sort of took soul to the next.
So Dinah helped shape a new kind of female blues jazz persona.
She was the model
really
for all
did.
of them.
She was the model for all of them, which is my point. One that wasn't about suffering, but about transcendence. A sentiment that deeply resonates within the soul music tradition and deeply resonates for us and for all our peers in this vibrant space. I mean, it's more than just making music. It's about honoring the past while bravely blazing new trails. We learn invaluable lessons, not just from the sounds of these architects that they created, but from the struggles that they faced, the artistic freedom they fought for, and the sheer brilliance of their creative minds.
Yeah, think about the sheer resilience of Dinah Washington breaking barriers as a black woman in a segregated and male-dominated industry.
Just out of race records.
Yeah, exactly. Or Sam Cooke, who didn't just sing beautifully, but took control of his own masters and built his own empire.
And said it without rubbing your nose in it.
Yeah, right.
Let's face it.
And these aren't just musical lessons. They're profound and life and business lessons for every artist today.
Absolutely. We are in an era where independent artists have more power and accent than
ever.
They have more power and access than ever. Yes, correct. But we can record, produce, and distribute our music in ways our predecessors could only dream of. And I'm here to tell you, because I come from the copper and dry pair and grease tape and a record head, and pray you did a good job with the razor blade or you were fired. Right? I mean, you think about the technology that's come forward, it's been unbelievable. But with that incredible power comes responsibility, significant responsibility. That responsibility is to protect our art, to understand the business side of things.
Yeah, we constantly remind ourselves of Marvin Gaye's fight for creative control, that purity of artistic vision, being true to your voice and your message, even when it's challenging or when others might push you in a different direction or try to.
And certainly that's exactly part of this business. They try to make you go in every direction, except the one that you want to go in.
Exactly. And Stevie Wonder showed us that embracing new sounds and technology doesn't dilute soul. It can expand its very definition and inviting new listeners and new possibilities.
Yeah, all these artists, all these lessons, just incredible for us, right? As we create our music as the new vibe, we are not trying to recreate what's already been done note for note. No, we are absorbing those fundamental truths of soul, the raw emotion, the complete storytelling, the compelling storytelling, the irresistible rhythmic pulse, and blending them with our contemporary experiences, the things that we've learned and our diverse influences from all around the globe, and the cutting-edge tools that are completely available to us today that didn't even exist on the horizon back then.
No, it's a dynamic conversation between generations.
Truly.
It's like we said earlier, we're speaking to the past while also living in the present.
Listening intently to the echoes of the past and engaging vibrantly with the sounds of the present. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah. And we want our music and the music of our talented peers to be a living, breathing continuation of that powerful, evolving narrative that started with the giants like Dinah Washington.
It is worth remembering where you come from, right? Appreciating every step of the journey and then confidently stepping into what's next, pushing those boundaries with respect and passion. So, As we always say, as we close out this episode of Max and Mello's Architect of Soul,
keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before. And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. Until next we meet,
peace and soul, y'all.